Hi everyone, it's the Rangers review. It is Rangers against Motherwell. It's the 27th day after Boxing Day. Myself and Chris Jack here through to see you through the usual match day. Chris, before we get to the team, are you well? Are you in the kind of between Christmas and New Year stage that the rest of us sort of are?
There's no hangover from Christmas. There is still a slight hangover from Tynecastle last weekend. It has to be said. I think that's perhaps taken a wee bit of the edge off the excitement here this afternoon. But Christmas was good. I think we still had quite a lot on our YouTube channel and on the website to keep people entertained and keep them informed over the festive period. So we've, as we always say, Josh, we've done our bit. We just need Rangers to do their bit now.
Famous last words. Let's see the team then, Chris, because I'm not sure exactly how Rangers line up. Let's go through the 11, and as usual, we can kind of discuss the potential shapes. It's Jack Butland and James Tavernier, Dujon, Sterling, Manny Fernandez, Jada Magoma, Mohamed Diamande, Nico Raskin, Connor Barron, Jeji Gassama, Tello Asgard, and Yusuf Chermiti. For me, it could be three different lineups, Chris. I think it could be this as it is on screen, which is the shape that the midfield three was in at Tynecastle, with Magoma a little bit higher than James Tavernier and subsequently Tello Asgard a little bit narrower than Jeji Gassama. It could be a back three with Jada Magoma left wing back, Jeji Gassama right wing back, and Tello Asgard off of Chermiti and Mo Diamande off the right. I think that's maybe less likely because he's tended to play in the midfield, not the front three. Or it could be a kind of flexible jump between the two, as we've seen Danny Rule speak about before. He likes to have that flexibility. Before we get to the individuals, what do you think the shape's going to be? Do you care?
I think the way you've got it lined up there is not that far away. I think that's how it will be. Prepared to be proven wrong as always when I start talking tactics. Prepared to be left looking a bit daft within the next hour or so when they come out. But I think the way that you've got it looks fairly spot on. It's not a midfield three in particular that gives me a whole lot of confidence. It's not a forward line that gives me a whole lot of confidence. I think you look at the bench and you're looking at Bihovsky, you're looking at Moore as two guys who you would like to see in that side. If it goes well and Rangers get a performance and get a result, great. It's big calls that have paid off for Danny Rule. If it goes badly, that's something that's also going to come up during the game and after the game. Now, why is Bihovsky arguably your best number 9? Why is he not playing? Why is Mikey Moore arguably your best player of recent weeks? Why is he not playing? Now, no player in this group can play 90 minutes every single week. We know what's coming up over the next week or so for Rangers with St Mirren, then obviously the Old Firm game. So you have to kind of manage a squad and you have to manage players through. That's fine as long as those that come in are then able to actually step up to the plate and go and deliver as well. So a lot of pressure on Chermiti, a lot of pressure on Asgard. I think a lot of pressure on that midfield three as well.
Yeah, and I don't know how many people Neil's speaking for, but he says, I'm on route to Ibrox and I'm seriously looking at jumping out of the emergency exit on the bus. I'm not sure what the atmosphere is going to be like there today, Chris, after that Hearts game. We'll come on to that. Yeah, I'm surprised there's no Mikey Moore. I'm surprised there's no Bojan Miovski. You expect that Danny Rule is looking to build the confidence of Yusuf Chermiti, who scored. I think you could have justifiable complaints at just about any member of the squad this season. However, Danny Rule can't change them all in January, and he has to work with what he's got. But you're also looking at James Tavernier, who hasn't been in good form. Obviously, Tello Asgard hasn't played much football at all. It's a midfield three that didn't really work in the first half at Tynecastle. A different type of game, but definitely a few surprises there. And if I read the bench, Chris, it's good to see John Suter back. He joins Liam Kelly, Max Aarons, Kieran Dowell, Finlay Curtis, Lyle Cameron, Mikey Moore, Bojan Miovski and Danilo. Just on Moore in particular, is it just a case of rotating him? Rangers have St Mirren in a few days' time. They have the Old Firm after that. They have a couple of games against Aberdeen after that. Rotation does need to be considered. But are you surprised that in particular maybe there's no Mikey Moore in that starting 11 today?
I think Moore is the one that people will point to most. I think he's probably the most surprising one. I think he's been good of late. when I was on with Derek the other day there, I gave early preview to the interview that we had with him on the website and on the YouTube channel. Without going full Christmas cliche, I thought he spoke very well in that press conference. But he gave off the impression of a guy who actually understands what this club is all about. And I think the fans that read that interview or watched that interview on the channel, I think they would have been quite encouraged by that, because there's too many of these players, when we have spoken to them over the season play, they don't have that same personality or that same mentality that Mikey Moore clearly has. So he's the one that people would have looked at. You mentioned obviously St Mirren and Celtic, and then that Aberdeen double header coming up. As I said at the top of the show, no player can play every single minute, and he is a good guy to have in a squad. If Rangers get to an hour and they're needing a bit of invention, needing someone to go and change the game, more than happy to go and put Mikey Moore on. Squad in general, I see a lot of people saying, "Oh, why is Tavernier playing? Or why is Nico Raskin playing? Why is Diomande playing?" The options just aren't there. So Tavernier doesn't play. Max Aarons comes in. Is he that much better right now? Of course he's not. Raskin doesn't play. Diomande doesn't play. You look at the bench, would you rather it was Kieran Dowell in there ahead of Nico Raskin? No. So that's just the limitations of this group until we can get to January, or the window opens in a couple of days. If Rangers can add 3-4, that would make a difference to the squad. But the squad in general is still also nowhere near good enough, and that's something the people that are demanding changes are saying this is rubbish or that's rubbish. The squad's just not there. There is only so much that Danny Rule can actually do right now.
Yeah, just before we let you go, Chris, overall importance of this game. Danny Rule was quite upbeat at the press conference a couple of days ago. He spoke about this team meeting that happened after Hearts. Felt like a big missed opportunity on the day. Motherwell, if Rangers beat Motherwell today, it's not a statement win, but it would be an important win, because Motherwell obviously arrive here ahead of them in the table. And quietly, because Hearts have been at the top of the table, I think Motherwell have been almost as impressive relative to the money they've spent. And they gave Rangers a good game on the opening day of the season, and they probably should have won. Goes without saying that Rangers need 6 points in these next two home games. Also goes without saying that you'd be a foolish man to try and predict what type of result performance is going to follow, but I'm going to ask you to do that anyway.
I had a bad feeling that was coming. As you say, 6 points is non-negotiable. There is no room for manoeuvre. There's no room for Rangers to slip up now, given the situation that they're in. If you have two home games over this festive period, it's as good as you can hope for and ask for. You have to then go and take advantage of them. Also, as we're speaking, Hearts still losing. Time will tell what happens with Celtic this afternoon, but Rangers just have to focus on themselves. Yes, you always have one eye on what's happening elsewhere, but given the situation that Rangers have put themselves in, they just have to go and take care of their own business. Danny Rule spoke about it at the press conference at the start of the week. They have to put together a consistent run. They have to find a run of results and performances to rebuild a bit of faith amongst these fans. But as you suggested there, Motherwell, one of the success stories of the season, when they had a new manager, a number of new players over the summer. No one really knew what to expect. I think that game at Fir Park, they impressed a lot of people. Thought there could be something here, and since then they've also been really impressive. They're going on an excellent run. They will come here. They'll fancy their chances. They'll also come here to play, which should make for a bit more of an entertaining game. Hopefully, should make it a bit more easy on the eye for the neutrals, and it might actually help Rangers if they have a team who are content to actually have belief in their own way and actually feel that they can take the game to Rangers rather than just come and try and stifle Rangers. Hopefully that actually plays into the hands of the more attack-minded players in that Rangers side.
Absolutely. We'll leave it there. We'll join you sometime after the press conference. Stick with the Rangers review across all your usual socials for your usual match day coverage as we start to look ahead to a busy January. Enjoy the game wherever you're watching it, and we'll speak to you sometime after full time. Bye for now.